Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. You clicked on to Long Range Weather Forecast discussion for November 25th through December 9th. And there's been a lot of talk on social media about another polar vortex event happening, or maybe sudden warming. But here's the current look at the polar vortex. This is a 3D view, and it's stretched. You can see here. So that leads to weakening. It could possibly happen. So if we go and we go through the days or through the hours, see, it pretty much stays pretty much across the Arctic and the other side of the globe. See how it is? And then maybe it starts stretching down here into the north central states. You can see it right down this area here. And gradually moves eastward by the end of the period. So it really doesn't come down into the mid latitudes. It probably just comes down to the Great Lakes. But we have to see how that goes. Now, also another thing I like to look at, as you know, what's going on over in Asia. And right now, I see the period. We have a trough moving into Eastern Asia, which this is the GFS, which favors a troughing in the east. But if you look at also the, this is a GFS, I'm sorry. The GFS has a trough. And then we look at the European, it also brings a trough in the northeast. But if you look at our maps, the North American maps, it doesn't really show that. So we're going to talk first about the period from November 25th to the 29th. And see how we have an upper low here in the southern plains that would track eastward. So as we go through, this is the GFS, only shows that. It shows the pattern that we have. And we go through, let me see, the 29th. We're at the 29th now. It's pretty much of a zone of flow. We have above normal heights here that build across the eastern Pacific, but generally above normal heights here in the east. The ensembles, the GFS ensembles are not loading. So as I mentioned before, we have this closed low that would be in the southern plains, and then the surface low will be developing with this upper low and move across the south central states with low pressure system developing and spread heavy rain across the plains, Mississippi Valley, and into the southeast and to the east. And we'll look at that at the surface right now. We'll go look at that at the surface. Here's our upper low down here, or our system. And you see how it tracks the east-northeast and brings rain into the area on Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. And there might be snow on the backside, and we look at the other models. They're similar. So then the storm goes. I don't know what's going on here. It's not moving. It's more inland and no secondary development. So it's inland. So it's generally a warm event, because look where the 540 line is, way up here across southern Canada. So this would be a warm event, rain event. So we're expecting temperatures to be below normal across the upper Mississippi Valley, northern plains, and the west. No, that's below normal temps. I'm sorry, below normal precipitation forecast for the upper Mississippi Valley, northeastward to the northeast. Below normal precipitation forecast for the upper Mississippi Valley, northern plains, and the west. And then later in the period, we'll go here to the 30th, we'll have a Pacific front that will be moving inland and bring increased chance of precipitation for portions of the west. Temperatures across south central states under the upper low will be about 15 degrees below normal. Now we're going to look at the period for November 30th through December 4th. And you can still see we have our ridge now really starting to build here across the Northeast Pacific, across Alaska. This results in a trough here in the west, still a zone of float above normal heights in the east. So with that, I'm calling for this forecast period below normal temperatures here, and I'm calling for anomalies of 4 to 6 degrees below normal, above normal temperatures here, with the anomalies of 4 to 6 degrees above normal for precipitation. Calling for above normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence is near 40%. Then we have below normal precipitation for this region, and probability of occurrence is 35%. Then we go to the period for December 5th to the 9th. During that time that trough moves into the Eastern Pacific, the GFS is the only one showing a trough here across the Northeast. We have blocking going here across the North Atlantic. Also here, 2 blocking systems. And then we look at the other models, more of a zone of flow, above normal height, below normal heights trough here in the west. So it doesn't really show any change except for the GFS. This could be right, but I'm not going with that right now. But this could be right according to what's going over in Asia teleconnection. So for this forecast period, I am calling for little change in temperature anomalies, and for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence near 40%. Below normal precipitation forecast here. Probability of occurrence is near 35%. That's the long range weather forecast discussion for November 25th through December 9th. Thanks for coming, Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.